Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Middleton here at Edgelia Elementary, and today I'm going to be going over day 16 in your packet with you for the directions and some tips on how to write your name. So please remember as you complete activities to either color the star or put a little check to know that you have finished them. We're going to begin today on the phonics page first, and on the phonics page you will find the letter P at the top. P says P, P, P. So in the first box, you're going to start at the star and you're just going to practice writing that letter. So you'll take your pencil and you'll make a big line down to the bottom and stop. And then you'll go back up to the star and make a little curve around for each of those P's in the box. And then down on the next section, you're going to be tracing capital P's on the top, lowercase p's on the bottom. So what they would like you to do is to trace that capital P just like you did up here, except now it's on lines. And then in the space right next to it, you're going to try by yourself. So you would start at the top just like they did, make a big line down to the ground and stop. Pick your pencil back up, go to the top, and make a little curve to the dashes and stop. That's capital P. And then lowercase p is really cool because it's pretty much the same. It just starts a little differently on the line. You go down to the dashes. You make a little line down past the ground. This is what we call a hanging letter. You go back up to the dashes and make a little curve down to the ground. So you would trace first, then try it on your own in this space next to it. Then at the bottom, it says to color only the pictures that start with the letter P. Remember, P says P. So you have jelly beans, penguin, pot, car, popcorn, glasses. So please color the pictures that start with the P sound. That's it for the phonics page. Next page we're going to go to is the reading page, and you can find a book on that page down in the bottom corner to let you know you're on the right section. For the top, it wants you to tell another word to the adult that rhymes with the two pictures they gave you. So they gave you a van and a pan. Now you can either draw a picture that rhymes with those two words, or your adult can write the word on the line for you. You can choose. If you want to draw a picture, that'd be great. If you want your adult to write the word, that's okay too. So you have to rhyme with van, pan. In the next sound, you're not going to be drawing or circling anything. This is just an activity for you to use your voice. So you're going to say the picture for the student out loud. That's the adult's job. And then students, you have to tell the first sound that you hear in that word. So for example, for the first dot or number 1, you have a line. So students, you have to tell the adult, what does line start with? Line. You would say ul. Now you have to figure out the sounds for the rest of the pictures. You have numbers, lunchbox, nest, lip, nose. And then at the bottom, parents, there are 3 sounds that you will say to your child, and then help them blend the sounds together to choose the correct picture. Do these sounds say car, or do they say hat? That's it for the reading section for the day. Now we're going to move on to math. And for math, you will be practicing the number 6. So for 6, what they want you to do is start on the star and just practice writing inside that bubble. Curl around and curl it up. You're going to do that 3 more times. And then they want you to sew 6 on the 10 frame, and you can do that by drawing dots. Now, I always like to remind my students to remember that we have to start at the top and fill the whole row up completely before we jump down to the bottom. And the next section is a pattern, and a pattern is something that repeats. So they've started one for you. They have blue, green, blue, green. They want you to finish the pattern for the next 2 lines. So you have to tell me what would come after green here, and then whatever you decide here, you have to tell me what would come next here. And at the bottom, there's a number line. And we want to make the bunny hop to the correct number on the number line. So this is the number they want the bunny to hop for. Just a clue. Look back up at the top. What number is that? That's the same number at the bottom. So use your pencil and make the bunny find that number on the number line. And after math, we are going to do a scavenger hunt. You have to find some objects that are blue and place them here. You could use magazines and look for things that are blue in magazines that you could cut out and glue. You could also use what's in your head and draw a picture with a blue crayon to show some things that are blue. Or you could find blue things in your home and put them on the paper and then take a picture of it. So lots of options for that activity. Don't forget when you're finished to check off all of your items on your checklist sheet. And friends, to finish up, I have a tip for you today on writing your name. That's going to be a very important skill when you come into kindergarten so that your teachers know what paper belongs to who when we start doing papers at our tables. So I have a lined dry erase board here, and the top line is red. There's some blue dashes. We call that the middle line. And then the black line I like to call the ground. And so we talk about how we start at the sky, which is the top. We always go down to the ground. And then some of our other letters start at the dashes, like little P did on your phonics paper today. So I'm going to practice using one of my kiddos' names just so you can see and have an example. Remember when you're writing your name that the first letter is always big or capital. And the little letters that follow are always small or lowercase. Unless you have a name that's hyphenated or maybe a name that has an apostrophe in it, you may have two capital letters, but for most names, it's one capital letter and then the rest are lowercase. So for my son, his name starts with a B, so I would make a capital B starting at the top, going down to the ground and stop. I'm going to go back up to the top and I'm going to make a little curve into the dashes and a little curve down to the ground. So that letter has started at the sky and gone down to the ground. It's a capital letter. The next letter is going to start at the dashes because it's lowercase, and that is R. So I'd start at the dashes, go down to the ground, and come up to make a lowercase r. Lowercase a is going to start at the dashes. Lowercase d is going to start at the dashes, but it's going to go up to the sky because it is what we call a tall stick letter. So I'm going to go up to the sky, back down to the ground. And then Y is a hanging letter, so it's going to go below the ground. Then we finish with an N. So you can see that only the first letter is capital unless there's a lowercase letter that's tall stick. All of my letters sit on the bottom line unless it's a hanging letter. Hanging letters are allowed to go below the ground. Otherwise, they should all sit on the line nice and neat. So as you are practicing your name, see if you can make just one capital letter, unless your name has two, and make the rest lowercase. When you get into kindergarten, we'll help you with line placement. But we really want you to focus on just having one capital letter and the rest lowercase. Thanks for checking in today, friends. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Till next time, bye.